June 30, 2026, almost 11 p.m. Indonesia. The old bookshop on Fifth Street. Nina passed by the old bookshop on Fifth Street every single day on her way to school, but she had never gone inside, since the shop looked tired and forgotten, with peeling paint and a faded sign that read Hartley's books. Most of her classmates said it was probably empty inside, maybe even abandoned. One rainy afternoon, Nina was running late and decided to take shelter under the shop's doorway. While waiting for the rain to slow down, she noticed the door was slightly open. Curious, she peeked inside. To her surprise, the shop wasn't empty at all. Shelves filled with thousands of books, stretched from floor to ceiling, and warm golden light glowed softly in the corner. And an elderly man sat behind a wooden counter, reading quietly. "You can come in, the man said without looking up. The rain isn't going anywhere soon." Nina hesitated, then stepped inside. The shop smelled like old pepper and cinnamon. The smell she found strangely comforting. "I'm Mr. Hartley," the man said, finally looking up with kind of smile. "And you must be a girl who walks past my shop every morning, always in a hurry." Nina blushed slightly. "You noticed that?" "I notice a lot of things," he said, chuckling, "especially when I'm bored." She wandered between the shelves, running her fingers along the spines of old books. Some were so old that their covers had turned soft with age. She picked up a thick book with a warm leather cover. "That one," Mr. Hartley said, "is over 60 years old. It belonged to my father." "You've had this shop for a long time?" Nina asked. "My whole life," he replied. "I grew up between these shelves. This place has more memories than most people collect in a lifetime." He now found his stories fascinating. He told her about customers who had been visiting since they were children, about books that traveled across the world before finding their way back to his shop, and about how, slowly, fewer and fewer people came inside anymore. Nina looked around the shop, suddenly seeing it differently. People don't like, People don't read like they used to," he said, his voice quieter now. "Everything is on phones and screen. I understand it. I understand it, but I still miss the sound of page turning." Nina looked around the shop, suddenly seeing it differently. Not as an old, forgotten building, but as a place holding decades, de- decades of story, both inside the books and within the walls themselves. "Can I come back sometime?" she asked. Mr. Hartley smiled warmly. "The door is always open for someone who actually wants to listen." From that day on, Nina visited the shop almost every afternoon. Sometimes she read quietly in the corner, other times she simply listened to Mr. Hartley's stories about the past, about his late wife, who used to organize the shelf by color instead of genre, or about the time a famous author once visited unexpectedly and stayed for hours just talking about life. Weeks turned into months, and Nina began bringing life. And, and Nina began bringing her friends along, then her younger cousins, and eventually even some of her teachers. Slowly, the quiet shop that everyone once assumed was empty became a small but lively gathering place again. One afternoon, as Nina helped organize a new shelf, Mr. Hartley watched her with a thoughtful expression. You know, he said, when you first walked in here, I thought you'd visit once and never come back. Most young people do. Why didn't I? Nina asked, smiling. Because he said, I think you understood something many people forgot. That some of the best stories aren't even written in the books. They are sitting right behind the counter, waiting for someone to ask. Nina laughed softly, glancing around the shelf, the soft lighting, and the old man who had quietly become one of her closest friends. Well, she said, I guess I'm glad I got caught in the rain that day. Mr. Hartley chuckled. So am I. Thank you.